Alright gamers, this is going to be my tutorial on how to do the lantern skip. Before I actually do the skip and show you what happens, all that happened so far is I knocked Marge off the ladder and I climbed up. I'm going to show you like how the triggers usually work for it, but for right now you just come up here, put in the crow key into the door, and then I'm going to show you the couple of steps that need to be taken. So things that must be accomplished to trigger the progression is opening the suitcase and reading the note, and then answering the phone call. And the second one is making sure that the lantern up here is looked at for just a moment. So like looking at this for like just a second or two is part of progressing. So what we're gonna do instead, because what usually would happen is you would open this briefcase, then you would run up here to the stairs up to the lantern, look at the lantern for the second, read this note, and then you would answer the phone call, right? But this is what we're gonna do for the skip. We're gonna open the briefcase here, and you're gonna line up the bottom of your screen to the bottom of these two flowers right here, like just about like there, while the thing is opening. Move a little bit to the right, so your max distance from the thing. Read and cancel the note, and then go to the phone. We're still going to do the lantern checkpoint by looking at the lantern key slot, but we're going to do it from below. So the way that this works is we're hitting the trigger from underneath the floorboards. So we're going to eliminate the time that you would spend walking up to the lantern here and then walking back. The reason I did it this way is because I only wanted to listen to the phone call once. I don't really want to do like a ton of editing with these videos. So this is more me just being lazy, but also for people who like would rather know how things are supposed to work so that it makes a little bit more sense, then that's the reason. So once you put the phone down, come down this door, and you'll notice that the bugs are still down here, right? So if I jumped into the pit right now, I would take damage, and I would have to be forced to come back the ladder, or come up the ladder again. So real quick, the spot where you want to look through the floor is the floorboard that's a little bit over the left over here, but I use this broken piece of wood to signify where I'm looking. So I come around just around here, and I look at this corner of the floorboard. And I know it's this one because it's the only like horizontal piece that's directly across from here. So you want to come up here and look at it for a moment, and then look down. So you see how the wood that was around here is gone now? That means that the first part of the checkpoint was hit. That means that we hit the lantern checkpoint. The second part of this is like the most finicky part, the most important thing, is you want to line up around this part of the broken floorboard here and just be just right of that. And you want to keep your mouse all the way down and look at this rock. And you're going to inch yourself off the platform and drop. And if you hear Marge screaming like that or like breathing like that, that's the sound she usually makes when she grabs the lantern. So now we can continue on to the fight. Important things to note is that if you are too far to the right on the drop, what'll happen is instead of you falling into the pit, right? So like the lineup is usually like here. So if I fall a little bit to the right, what'll happen is you'll start falling, and then you'll drop to the top of the ladder, and then you get stuck here, and you have to turn and watch Marge's grab the lantern. So it's still faster than walking up the stairs and looking at the lantern here, but it will like lose you a potential time save. So make sure that after you're done looking at the ceiling here, that you make sure to inch yourself off of here. Because the reason you have to inch yourself off is because if you sprint off or walk at full speed, the same thing will happen where you'll fall over here. And the reason that you want to look at this rock is because if you don't have Marge like in kind of your view when you fall, it won't trigger it either. And it's very easy to soft lock. Soft locking being that you can get all the way to the boss fight, enter the boss room, and the Marge just won't spawn. So make sure to that after you look up here, that the grate is gone. Make sure that the wood is gone before dropping into the pit. So optimally, you don't want to like walk right underneath of it and look under, right? So what I usually do is I try to go for max distance. So I stand about here. I look just above it because I'm kind of like using my head. Because when you look up, if you look straight up, right, at this part of the thing, the lantern is right above you. So you can like kind of practice like the distance and like what you can get away with, and then do the same thing. But yeah, that's the lantern skip. And the reason why it's called lantern skip is you're skipping the lantern grab animation. But once this is done, you can continue on to the fight and do the March fight. That's the lantern skip tutorial. I hope this helps you guys out. Good luck, gamers, and hope you get some good times on your runs.